This is a weird video to record, but it's one I wanted to record as I am heading into my 26th birthday and a new chapter in life in later this year. So I wanted to kind of give a short of what's going on and then a little longer on the reasonings why. So if you don't want to watch the longer part, feel free to just watch the short part. But the long and short of it is I'm leaving esports. And I'm going to be instead pursuing a PhD in English literature this fall, starting at LSU. So I'm very excited for this next opportunity, and I think it is the right move for my career and for where I want to be in my life. But it does mean I'm leaving a lot behind. And so obviously that's the long and short of it. Now I want to talk about what I'm leaving behind and my experiences and what kind of led me to this decision. If you know me at all, you know I've kind of walked a little bit of a back and forth road. I've moved a lot. I'm, like I said, turning 26, and I've lived in 10, soon to be 11 states, sometimes the same state multiple different times, and I've attended 5 colleges, soon to be 6. I have pursued different career paths, and I thought I found it. I was wrong. And now I do believe I've truly found what I want to do. But I've been in esports since 2018, officially. I watched esports and did stuff with esports as far as being a fan prior to that, but as far as being in esports, 2018 was the moment I came into it when I joined Culver Stockton College as an Overwatch player, at which point I got into the scene heavily. I was not only a player, but I was a coach for our Overwatch B team at the time, and eventually was a coach at a tier 3 level for Overwatch during the GOATS meta, in which case I made a lot of great friends, but when Rollock happened, I left coaching. I worked as a manager at moments. I was studying management under people in the C9 Women's Mentorship Program when I was in it, and I also then worked as a commentator for a short period of time, specifically in the League of Legends scene, where I had a lot of struggles. I stuck around in collegiate, and I've had my bad times in collegiate, but I want to talk about some of the struggles later. I want to talk about the good of what esports has brought me first. Esports gave me opportunities as far as scholarship, obviously, but it gave me a lot of great people that I got to meet. And I could not be more thankful for those people and for the people that I've gotten to meet and to create a connection with. There are so many that I've gotten to name, and those people have created great opportunities and friendships and relationships that I cherish. And I could continue to name a bunch of them. I'm going to name a couple. Katie Harry, my director, obviously. One of my first friends in esports, Cora Kennedy over at IWU. Flutie, who was at ISU and who is now doing her own thing. The list is endless. Eno, Dana Husted. It keeps going on, and I've gotten to meet more people. Lindsay Pastel, the Pastels. I've met so many people this year. So I met Sari for the first time this year. Obviously, Clerky, who has been nothing but kind to me. And again, the list is amount. I can't name all the amazing players that came through that I got to be teammates with, that I got to work with. I can't name all the amazing staff members that I've gotten to work with, Sid, Nat, etc. People who have made esports amazing for me and have made it a great experience. And I wish I could name everyone. I wish I could give them their special moment, because I do appreciate them so immensely. But we would be here for probably 20 minutes, and I don't have that in me right now. It's a busy time of the year, so but no, I recognize the people that have made a positive impact on my life, and I'm extremely grateful for them. They've done more than I could ever ask for me as friends, as colleagues, etc. I've also gotten the opportunity to do a lot of cool things. Opportunities to work with really great people that are super experienced. People like my friend Bun, who works currently at YFP, but is an incredible creative who has worked with amazing places and who I have gotten to learn from and grow from. And the fact that I got to work with her was incredible. I've gotten to work here at Converse. I got to work at Grandview and do certain things. I've gotten to cast really cool events. I've gotten to manage awesome teams. I got to play in like Overwatch Open Division EU. That was weird. Don't ask. But the amount of opportunities I've gotten, the Scholars Award, where it's in January of this year, amazing. Going to LAN events, even small ones like Wake Forest, where it's just a local spin LAN, stuff at Catawba, stuff at, more local. We did one at the University of Northern Iowa when I was at Grandview. Just going to these events with players, going to Kentucky for Overwatch, going further and further out to different events. And I'm still going to get to do a couple of great events this year. I will be at NACE Finals this week, and I will be at CECC. But the opportunities and the events that I've gotten, especially the opportunity to be here at Converse and to chase my creative dreams and ambitions and etc., have made such a great impact on me and given me so much as a person and have moved me to grow. I've got those opportunities put me in positions to learn from people, to be mentored, to grow as a person, to be more responsible, to grow as a creative, to try new things, to just put myself in a position where I can learn from the amazing people that I've gotten to surround myself with. I'm incredibly grateful for the last 7 years of my life, 6, 7 years of my life. And I will never be able to diminish that. And it will always be something I look back on and know that I would not be the person I am today without all that stuff. That said, there were also bad moments in a lot of them. Esports takes so much out of you. Esports is constant, especially in the collegiate space. It's year round. It is every day, every night. It is players having practice, having matches, wanting things streamed, wanting to go to events. It is going to those events. It is having struggles, having to deal with their own things, needing help with certain things. It is just constant. And that's not, and we do it for the love of this. I understand that. And that's why I've done it. But at some point, we all get burnt out. And I reached a level of burnout because I was spending so much of my time focused on this, on esports, on giving as much of myself as I could to it. And it was too much. And I wasn't finding the same fulfillment in it because of that. And on top of that, we have a long way to go in a lot of cases. I left casting because I had some issues at certain events and things with people. And then privately, I, maybe deservedly, received some very harsh words from people. I recognize that I have not always been the most tactful person in my online presence. I'm an opinionated person, but the amount of backlash and transphobia I received for certain things pushed me out of casting and into a different field. And the amount of people that are harsh, that are awful, that are not in this scene for the proper reasons, that are taking advantage of the scene, that are gaining advantages off of other people's hard work. It killed me. And it made me feel less than, because at times it was my hard work that people have gained advantages off of and continue to gain advantages off of. And I have dealt with, as a player, issues in teams where I was treated unfairly, in my mind. I'm not going to get into anything, but I've had so many issues on a personal level with lots of people, and it feels like every week something new comes out about someone who's doing something, and there's some sort of drama, and we can't get past it. We don't have regulations. We don't have systems in place to stop that. And I know it's never going to fully go away. But when it is something that has not only affected the whole scene, but has affected me personally as well, I, at some point, just felt continually hurt. And it's hard to go on when you feel as though things are unfair and that there are people that are bringing the scene you love down around you. And it makes it harder to find solace in the amazing people that are around you. Because there's always that itch in the back of your mind that, hey, there's these bad eggs out there. And there are too many of them to count. And when it came targeted at me, which it has multiple times, it made me want to just absolutely leave instantly. I stuck it out because I appreciate my opportunity at Converse. I appreciate the people I've worked with at Converse. They've given me amazing stuff. They are not the reasons for my burnout. They are not the reasons for me leaving the esports scene. I loved what I did here, and I love the opportunities I got here. It's just everything around this scene has drained so much of me. And I wasn't finding fulfillment anymore. And I would get into further details, but I'm doing this off the top of my head, and I don't really want to call anyone out right now. But I will say these couple of things. The amount of people that are failing upwards in our scene is something that needs to be addressed. The amount of people that are bringing a culture of hate and problematicness into our scene and drama needs to be addressed. And the amount of issues I have with the way certain things have been handled by certain people in certain leagues, the way we've addressed rules, the way we've addressed success in our leagues and minimizing the success of certain schools, the way other people have treated certain schools in their leagues because of their success. I've seen it here at Converse. I've seen it at Grandview. I'm sick of it. And we need wide-swept changes, and that's not happening anytime soon. That's the truth of it. And lastly, the other reason I'm leaving as on the esports front is stagnation. I don't think I'm a bad creative. I think me being nominated for awards has cemented in my eyes that I'm doing work that people recognize. But I feel as though I have kind of moved myself into a niche of being the kind of weird graphics person. And also the scene is moving forward. And I'm not sure I can move forward with it. The hours of social media, the hours of graphic design, of creativeness, they can be taxing. And moving on from Converse as I graduate this semester would have meant finding a new place to try and go do that. And there's no guarantee that those places have creative teams in place. And I've learned from being at Converse that being a one-man creative band is hard. And you need to have multiple people in a creative team. You need to have things built out for that to work. And a lot of the schools don't. And I don't feel as though I was growing as a designer, as a creative, to the level that I wanted to. And I don't think that I ever will in this space. I think esports inherently stagnates creatives in a lot of ways. And that's a whole nother video. But I didn't see the growth. And I didn't see the potential. And I didn't want to be a director. So, moving on. The other big reason for leaving non-esports related is that I love teaching. And I love English literature. I'm a big nerd. Ask me if you see me at one of these events coming up about my experience at South Carolina this past Friday. It was awesome. I'm a huge nerd. I'll talk about like 15th century books and literature for hours. That's what I want to study. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to research. And I think we have an epidemic in the United States of reading and writing. And I want to be a professor and hopefully not only rekindle a love for a lot of these classics and for reading these classics and books of poetry, etc., and great literature, but I want to be able to help people grow as writers and as students and as people. And I've loved doing that in all the places I've gotten to do it, whether that's teaching graphic design, video, whether that's being a coach. This is where my passion truly is. And getting to pursue a PhD, which I'm lucky enough to get to do thanks to LSU, this is my next step. This is where I want to be. And this is a road that once I become a professor, I will be able to find more of a work-life balance. I will feel more cemented in a place, and I will feel like I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. It's going to come with struggles. It's going to be hard. Nothing ever comes easy. But I see a future there, and I don't see one here in esports. It has just burned up in front of my eyes in a way. And so I want to say thank you to everybody that's done so much for me, that's been so kind to me, that's given me so many opportunities. And I hope to see a lot of you at these events coming up. And if I don't, please shoot me a message. If we haven't talked in a while, or if we have, I'd love to stay connected. But this is the end of the road for me in esports. And I want to thank everybody for their time and for having me here. It's been great.